Well, hey guys, hey, what is going on out there today? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Happy Saturday. Still morning here on the West Coast, almost 11 o'clock. Early afternoon out there on the East Coast. And yeah, I got a little late start today on the video. I just moderated a webinar. We just did a live webinar with the great Dr. James Loomis from the Game Changers video documentary. Karen Dugan, who is a plant-based nutritionist out of St. Louis, Missouri, and of course the great Mikey Loomis Landauer shared her story just about what she's been able to do, changing her diet several months ago and where she's at now. That girl is down 27 pounds and just looks spectacular. So, you know, kudos to you, Mikey, for sure. Anyway, it was a great webinar, a lot of fun, 3 hours plus. It was just packed with stuff. So all good. Anyway, guys, I'm going to make this real short today. And the theme here is the ultimate tennis practice fail. And you know, in parentheses, 2 points is not a data set to let you know, if whatever you're trying to do, if it's the right thing or not. And look, I mean, for me back in the day when I was trying to learn the game, I was tinkering here, I was tinkering there, trying all kinds of different stuff. And you guys have heard my story. Way before I got with Tom Stowe, Mr. Stowe, I was a DIYer, right? I was a do-it-yourselfer, just seeing if I could figure out the game on my own. And so part of that was either watching someone else, or maybe I would go to someone who was not a professional. Biggest mistake in the whole world, right? You go up the deck in the Berkeley Tennis Club and you ask someone who's right at your level, not really in the business, and sort of say, hey, well, what do you think about this thing? And they go, well, here's what I've heard. And so you kind of go out there in the practice court, you go out there in the match, and you try this thing, and you try it one time, and it doesn't work. And what do? You go, well, that didn't work, so it must not work. So then you try something else, and you try it for 1 point, and you have success on that 1 point. And you go, oh, well, this is the thing. So anytime I had that epiphany, oh, well, this is the thing, I would quickly find out that, no, it's not. That's not the thing. So look, it's so easy now. And I'm just kind of glad now that I'm not sort of trying to figure out the game of tennis in this day and age, where you can go over to YouTube and you can search for whatever you want to, you can really drill down on some kind of a long tail keyword and just get hundreds of video results, right? Where you could just pick this and pick that, and then you go out in the court and you try it, and it doesn't work, even though it might be the right thing. You just haven't quite figured out how to make that right thing work yet. And so you just sort of blow it off and either go back to your old ways or you try something else. And I used to make that mistake a lot. And so what I discovered, what I found out, and part of that was being able to get with Mr. Stowe, is that, look, he would give me the, let's see, how do I want to word this? He would give me the information, right? He would talk about the information first in terms of, let's say, for example, trying to take a short ball forehand approach. And he would kind of go through the whole information part of it first. Well, we got to intellectualize this thing. Okay, well, short ball forehand, you want to create your space with your feet, let the ball get to the top of the bounce so you have the best geometry. And then what's the racket prep? What's the contact point? What's the footwork through it, and all that kind of stuff. And then, what he does is then he feeds you a couple easy balls. And the first couple, it just doesn't work. And then you get a ball where you hit it as clean as it can be. And he just kind of looks at it and you go, that's it. And so now you have this epiphany, right? You've intellectualized it. Then you've gone from the epiphany where you felt it, right? And now and the mistake I was making is I went from intellectualizing it to the epiphany stage to going, I've got it. And I would go out there, then I would try to deploy it in a match, and I didn't have it. I'd had the epiphany in practice, but I didn't really have, it wasn't set yet, right? So I would go out and try it, and the match wasn't working, and I go, well, this doesn't work. And I'd then try something else. Like I said before, either go back to the thing that I was doing before, or try something that maybe I'd heard about, right? So look, the learning stage on this thing is you need a huge sample size. Two points is not a sample size, right? So what I want you to think about is that intellectualize something first and make sure this is the right information, right? If you're working on stroke technique or tactics or strategies, mental, physical, whatever it is, you got to make sure that you get the right stuff, right? You got to make sure that you're getting it from a trusted resource. Number one. Number two, you do need to have an epiphany where you can actually, in a practice situation, you can actually make the information actually work, right? And then you have to, from then on, you're then at the very beginning of the learning process in terms of practicing and drilling and, the improvement curve, as I've told you guys a million times, not a gradual straight line up. You don't get the intellectual part, and then the next step up is the epiphany. Okay, I see how that works. Okay, and then you keep getting better and better. It just doesn't work that way, right? I mean, once past the epiphany, it can be all over the map in terms of you eventually getting this thing where it becomes part of your game, and you start to trust that you can actually make whatever that thing is. You can start to trust that, no, is it ever a fail-safe lockdown guarantee for the rest of your life that, you'll be able to hit this forehand approach at the top of the bounce and, knock it in the corner over there? No, it's not. I mean, you're going to miss some of the time. And when you do, you cannot say to yourself, well, this thing doesn't work, so I'm going to go back and try something else. And if you try something else and that one time it does work, that doesn't mean that it's the thing that you want to keep working on. So often a little bit of a rant here today. But I hope that makes sense. So look, intellectualize it, understand it from a trusted resource, get that aha moment, the epiphany, where you've actually feel what the information is. And then assuming that the epiphany, the aha thing it really makes sense, then you know what? Grind. I mean, it may take you months. And most players, frankly, don't want to spend the time doing that. Most players want that, give it to me now. Oh, you gave me the information. I felt it in practice. Okay, I want to be able to go out and deploy it right now in a match. It doesn't work that way. And maybe that's good. If you're the type of player who's willing to put in the work on something like this, just think of it. 95% of all the other players who have the information, who get the epiphany, aren't going to do the rest of the work. They're just not going to do it because they're going to fail at some point, and then they're going to go, well, this thing doesn't work. So if you're the kind of player, and it took me a while to become that kind of player where I realized that the epiphany part of it is just the very beginning. It's not like, okay, well, now I can go out there and I can just flip the light switch and make it happen whenever I want. You got to work like a dog out there, and you got to go through some pain. You got to go through some heartache of it not working sometimes, and just trust that that's part of the learning path as you get to a point where it now becomes part of your game, where again, it's never going to be a lockdown guarantee, but it's going to be something that you can count on most of the time. I mean, has Roger Federer ever missed a tennis ball? I think he has. So no one's ever gone out there and figured out the game to where it's again, 1,000,000%, not a number. But anyway, guys, hope this makes sense to you guys today. It is Saturday, so I'm actually off the court today, going to get on the stationary bike, get another one of those nice kind of gushers, maybe put on a college football game or two, put the stationary bike in front of the TV and just let it go for a while. And got to have that big bottle of water, hydrate the whole time. All good, right? So look, guys, hope this has helped. Let me know. You can leave a comment, direct message me, shoot me an email, Brent@webtennis.com. And as always, that's right, you've got to get out there and help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, we will do this again tomorrow.